Good afternoon and welcome to the SlowestRacecar YouTube channel. So ever since I got back in town, been nothing but issues. I had to use the jumper box, as you probably already seen the other day when I first got back in town, to get my Escalade started. Got it fired right up, drove it around for a while, shut it off, ran some errands, turned it back on. It started every time, didn't have any issue. Been driving it for the last week or so. Then today I go outside to get into my vehicle. Like I said, I've been driving it every day with no issue, and the battery was dead when I went to leave work this morning. So I used my jumper box, jumped in. Let's see if she starts now. Went down to O'Reilly's, they hooked a tester up to it. The battery was low, but they said the battery is good. However, it was drained from running, so I have to get the battery pulled out, take that up there so they can put it on their charger. They tested the alternator and it kept reading 16 volts down to like 3 volts. It's all over the place, meaning my alternator's bad. Luckily, I was at least able to make it back to town because I don't live terribly far from work. So that's what I'm trying to get taken care of today. So I already went ahead and unhooked the battery, which on mine was two 10mm bolts. They're usually 10s, 8s, sometimes 12s, but usually 8 or 10mm bolts. Already went down to O'Reilly's, picked up a new alternator, not a reman. This is the factory alternator. You can see right there is a 140 volt. The new one is going to be 160. I do have a lot of electronics because it has a full stereo, screens, and all that. Now that the battery's unhooked, I can go ahead and pull the plug on the back of the alternator, which is this. I have to pull this boot off, get my 10mm and remove that. Of course, my garage is full at the current time, and it's like, I think it's only about 18 degrees out. My hands are freezing. Well, that's alright. Wouldn't be fun if it was any other way. Lucky I found this now instead of when I took it out of town for my retune, which I'm still waiting for them to give me a call back on, because having sporadic voltage, it can drop the voltage to the fuel pump and have fueling issues. And I was able to drive it home from work, like I said, because I don't work too terribly far. That saves me money on a tow. Although I think I do have roadside assistance. Pull that power wire off there. That's just a 10mm nut. I think from the last one of these I've had to change out. It's a 15, so I've already got that ready to go. Not sure how well you guys can see. Hopefully it comes out alright. Excuse the blurriness, or the little cloudy in the middle. I still haven't had a chance to try and polish my camera out, see if that will fix it before I buy a new one. And I have a cordless ratchet wrench, and of course I just let a buddy borrow it. The same buddy whose Jeep you'll probably see earlier in this video, if not in a previous video. Pretty cool little Jeep. We just dropped the motor in. He had a few things to button up, so let him borrow my big impact and my small impact. Also, I forgot before I get too far, got to use the ratchet. There's a tensioner down here. Put it on tight. Push down on it. That takes the tension off the belt. Actually, that's the one for the AC, excuse me. I think this one is might be a 15. I think it's a 14. Nope, it's a 15. Take the tension off this. Slide that belt right off. Took a little bit of persuading, but I was able to get that out, and I had to take a phone call real quick. So I use the ratchet to pull down on the tensioner. I will show you what I'm talking about. Not sure how well you can see it, but right in there, that's the bolt for the tensioner for the serpentine belt. There's one down there which actually doesn't take a socket. It uses basically the keyway off your ratchet wrench. You stick it in there, but that's for the AC and power steering. No, that's just for the AC belt, and then the power steering's ran off the serpentine belt. Excuse me. So now that we got the belt off, we can finish taking this the rest of the way out. There's one. There's two. Usually these don't come out super easily, so you have to pry it just a little bit. There's one side. I may end up having to remove my intake tube to get the other side off, but that's no big deal. I think it's just a 10mm or 8mm. Yeah, it's an 8. for the clamps that I have on there. Yours may be different. Doesn't like to maneuver so well when it's cold. Unplug your mass airflow sensor. That's out of the way. Just like that, there you go. There's the old one. This is very likely the original one. This is a 2008. It's now 2019. I've had this vehicle since, I want to say, late 2014. And it's been used and abused with my stereo because I've got a 15, I've got 3 television screens, a 4-channel amp, plus my sub amp, so it's definitely done its job. We'll get this one opened up, take a look at it. Brand new, no reman. This one isn't all corroded. Like I said, that one over there is only 140 amp. This one's going to be 160 amp, so it'll give us a little bit more. And hopefully keep that Optima yellow top happy, which we're going to have to pull and take up there and let them charge it. Get some juice in it before work, so that we're not straining our electrical system all over again. So now that you guys have seen how you take it out and the steps you're supposed to take, I'm going to shut the camera off because my fingertips are freezing right now. I'm going to get the new one put back in, get it all plugged back up, and start pulling the battery, go drop the battery back off, and I'll check back in with you guys when I get done. Take a quick peek, make sure there's nothing that I forgot. New alternator, That Harbor Freight light has been a lifesaver, 29 bucks. I'm not sure if they let you use the coupon or not, or if that was the sale price. I've got 2 of them. This one's a little bit finicky. One of the ends is broke off. Otherwise, I'd hang it on the hood up here. In these little holes, it reaches all the way across because the end screws and it has like a bungee cord. And you may have noticed this one's flickering. 1, because it's cold, and 2, this one's been dropped, banged, used as a sword by my nieces, nephews, and my 4-year-old. That's pretty much it. I think all that's left to do now is reconnect the battery and start it up. Got the key, let me grab that. Got the key in case the alarm goes off. That's why I was quick to grab it. Battery's got plenty of juice. Get the cables tightened up and we'll see if she fires. Battery's all hooked up. I also have the firewall to fender brace. I need to get that put back on. Let's check this out. I'm going to show you guys how cold it is and why I can't feel my fingers. 22, and it's slowly going down. Our low tonight is 15 degrees. So I can't feel my fingertips. And of course, I loaned out my heater. And my garage is full of other projects I need to get to. But this one's priority because this is by far one of my favorites and what I drive every day. Alright, everything is back together. There it is. We'll see if we can get it to start. If we can get it to start, we will take it for a drive.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Let's get you in. We'll get you strapped in.
Where?
It's dark, but bear with me. No worries, it works fine. Forgot to plug in the mass airflow sensor when I hooked the air intake back up. Alright, gonna take it for a drive, make sure it's charging, check back in with you guys. There's the cop, just pulled in over there. I'm sure you heard it beeping. Like I said, I swear by the Passport Escort 9500iX. Never let me down. So I'm going to go do some driving. Make sure everything's working. Can't wait for this thing to warm up because it's freezing. Once it does that, hopefully all's good and we can move on to the next project. instead of having to deal with maintenance. You know, it's always something with projects, even with factory cars. Right now everything seems to be good. We'll get the heated seat turned on. You may or may not be able to see him, but of course my little buddy has to go everywhere I go. Can you say hi to YouTube, Bubba?
Hi.
That's my right hand man. So gonna go take this thing for a test drive and hopefully everything's good.